How would you like to pocket port with me on this RB26? Keep watching. The RB26 is a known Japanese powerhouse. They don't call it Godzilla for nothing. We're going to take it one step further and make it that much better. Not everybody needs a full port. So we go to the pocket port. The pocket port is going to add 30 to 40 CFM on the intake, 30 CFM on the exhaust. With a proper valve job, we put bronze guides in it, but you don't always need a full port. So if you're under 1,000 horsepower, you can absolutely get away with just doing a pocket port. Pocket port consists of porting the area underneath the valve seat and the short side radius. Now you'll notice that this right here is machined from the factory, but it has a really hard stop right here, so the whole thing is not blended. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to open up this on this side here, and we're going to fix the short turns. The short turns also have a lot of bumps, but we'll get to that in a little bit. You'll notice that we removed the valve guides. We remove valve guides in all cylinder heads whenever we're doing some porting because you really can't reach around it. We install guides on an aftermarket valve train because the valves are usually smaller in stem diameter than the factory. Now when I say smaller, I really talk about half a thousandths, but when you put them in the bronze guide, or I put them in the back in the steel guide, it's like a hot dog in the hallway. And it's going to take heat away, and they have a lateral lubricity when you go to a bronze guide. And as I said, we can port around, and you don't have to worry about a guide being in the way. And then you put the good guide in there. You see what I'm saying? It's all gains. We're going to start off this with the HeadGames 3/4 super spiral burr that's been cut down to about 5 inches, and our Makita GD0603 grinder with a speed control. Let's discuss what you just seen. Now, I used this burr because, and you've seen in other videos, if you guys watch us, that it's round. And so is the valve pocket area. It's round. Well, actually, from the factory, it's a little square, but we're going to make it round. And what I did was to go up and down. Now, this is no pressure at all. You can see how I got nothing, right? And that is as far as you should really go. And then you go into the center, do everything. Whatever your body will naturally do is what you want to do. So you don't want to be up here trying to grind. You just want to stay in that little area that's natural for your body to do it. It's also important to note that this burr is the Honey Badger of burrs. This thing takes out metal very, very quickly. So you almost got to be ready for it. If you're a novice, this is not the one to use. But I'm not a novice. The other thing you should note is that we only rough grind with this. We're not going to fine grind with it, and that's what you'll see. You're going to watch me do the short turns with our 3/4 super spiral burr. I do not suggest, unless you've been grinding for a very long time, that you do that because, again, it takes the material so quickly that you can mess it up even faster. And so I would suggest doing our 1/2 inch super spiral burr. That would definitely take you away from the danger zone. What you're seeing there is I went over it and I laid the turn back just a little bit and I blended into the valve seat. I did it on both sides, and now I'm going to hit it with a 1/2 inch to do our final grind burr. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 1/2 inch super spiral burr and I'm going to do a little bit more shaping. I just really wanted to get the bulk of the material out, so that's why I used the bigger burr. I also want to mention, you'll notice that I wasn't concentrating on down here. I was working my way to it. Now, if you work here, the problem is that you're going to make a really sharp turn like right here, and you'll make a bump that you can't get rid of. So what I do is I blend it from here in, just keep coming in, and then this will just naturally blend in. And don't be afraid to hit the walls and blend the walls in and then do the center. This will make it a lot easier for you when you turn it over. So now we're on to the exhaust side. I am going to use the 1/2 inch because the 1/2 inch is going to fit in the hole. You'll notice that this burr is a lot longer, and that's because I cut this one down. They come 6 inches. I cut this down to 4 inches, and I do that because I can put a lot more pressure on this. I use a lot more pressure because, well, I don't like metal coming out slowly. So I'm going to put full speed, and I'm going to put a lot of pressure on it, and I'm going to make the material go away. Take notice, well, not only the E85 that's all up in this head, but the turn here is very square. This is the exhaust short turn. There is a lot of gain to be had just by blending this into the port and making it round. And this is especially important for you guys who think that you're going to put a gasket from a company who, well, when they make a gasket, they don't give a shit about if it's a cross-section area is correct, but a lot of the guys I see, they go and gasket match something like this, and there's really no gains there. There is a lot more gains to be had. Actually, it's 90% of your gains are in this area. Pay attention to that. I know what some of you guys are thinking, that mofo has not measured a thing. How does he know how much material to take out? Well, we're gonna measure. You can use a snap gauge, you can use these inside mics, that's what I like to use, and we get it close. Now I like to do about 250 thousandths underneath the seat. You can see these things are the same size, that's a good thing. And then you measure it with a caliper, and we're going to go for a certain percentage of the size of the valve. Rule of thumb, we're going to be 85 to 90% of the size of the valve. You don't want to go any bigger. So I see some of you guys, you whack out the whole bottom of the valve seat and you bring it all the way up to the 45, and now we're, I don't know, 100% of the size of the valve, and you just killed the flow. Now we're going to switch it over to the HeadGames 3/8 double cut burr. The double cut burr is pretty much just to make everything look nicey nice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do short turns first. I do short turns first because I'm going to blend the walls into the short turn, and then when I flip it, it makes it a lot easier to make sure everything is blended. Now when you watch me do the roughing in, I did it from the bowl side, and it makes like a little ridge here. I'm okay with that because I'm going to take it out. But when we're fine grinding, this is the last straw. So I want to do all my blending from this side because I don't want a sharp edge, or I don't want a bump in this area right here from pushing all the material from the bowl side up to this area. One thing you'll notice is I did one wall at a time, and then I would do the center. The reason why I do that is because I want to keep everything consistent. So all my lines, see right back there, they're exactly in the same spot on each and every one of them. So if you do all walls, right? You do them all 12 of them. You do this sidewall, then you do that sidewall, and then you blend this. Everything will look consistent. Hope you guys picked something up from this. I appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share our videos. Toodles.